Hi, now we're with Nate Owens, and we're going to go in the truck, and he's going to take us for a tour to the Villages and kind of show us a little more about the Villages and what goes on. As I said earlier, this is a project that the Scotts have been doing for about 12 years out here, and Nate's going to take us through some new construction as well as some projects that just finished up, and then we'll meet up with Shawn Scott. Nate, where are we heading now, bud?
We're going to head to where more of the construction's going on from the ground up and show you the earlier phases. As you can see where we're at now, a lot of these homes are finished. We're passing. Believe it or not, these homes most of them were probably put up about 6 months ago from the start to where you see finished sections in front of you. We are on the south side of 466A. We've been over here a little over a year now, and we probably have already built 3,600 homes, rough estimate. That's how many more residents are over here already.
It's amazing that 6 months ago this was nothing more than pasture and what we're going to see probably here in a little while.
That's it. Yeah, this place moves so fast even Google Maps can't keep up with it to update the roads.
How many counties does the Villages cover? I mean, this place seems to grow and grow, and can you tell us a little more of the areas that it's in?
It covers a portion of 3 counties, Marion, Lake, and Sumter. Very, very big. It's its own entity, its own city. Probably made up of about 100,000 residents right now, and somewhere along the lines will probably finish around 130 to 150, I imagine. Those numbers change daily.
What percentage of the homes do the Scott family, do the Mike Scott Plumbing does? I mean, it's 30, 40, 50, 60%?
We're probably right around 70, 75, maybe even 80% of the homes for these builders out here. We do the majority out of 4 plumbing companies. We do the majority for them, as well as, which you know, some commercial out of our main office. We have quite a bit. As you can see, you see our trucks everywhere as we pass through some of these sections. You'll see them. We'll pull in this section right here. This is 211. This is a new section we started about a month ago. First house broke ground about a month ago, which is right here on this very first street. You can see how far along they are. Not far from landscaping to be able to move in. Villages strives on not making their customers wait 6 months to a year for their homes, which we all know. We've done custom projects where it can take that long. Out here, they're on an average of 45 days from ground break to closing.
And how many stages will Mike Scott Plumbing go to that house in that 45 days? I know there's the rough in, the trim out.
Yep, we do the ground rough, which you've seen with Jason Scott. Then there's a second rough, and the house has got the roof on it and framed up, which we'll find a couple of those in here. That's about the phases we're at. And then you obviously got the final phase where you're setting all the fixtures, the payoff, you know.
You definitely have to have a good personality on top of a good work ethic to work with everybody, because you can see it's very, very close quarters in here.
Yep, everybody's got to get along, work together. As you can see, everything's tight. You got to be on your toes out here, because if you miss a beat, miss a step, miss a phase, there's more eyes on you than the builders. You're hurting the next guy that's waiting to do his phase. You put him behind, then you're putting the next guy behind and the next guy, and you know. So far, I've been out here for roughly 10 years. I think Mike Scott Plumbing's been in the Villages somewhere around 13, 14 years. And we managed to make friends with all the subcontractors and work well with them. It makes it a lot easier to move in a place this fast. You know, like right here, they're prepping the slab. After Jason checks it and makes sure all the pipes are in the right place, they come and they cover it. They're starting to put plastic on them before the concrete. Jason will be back there tomorrow on those to make sure that they didn't break anything, drive any stakes through anything, water's still holding. You know, those are keys, because you don't want the homeowner moving in and finding out, I got concrete in my drain lines and nothing drains his first night here. It's not an experience that anybody's going to be happy with. That's their second phase of plumbing we'll do. We go in, all these houses have metal studs in them. We go in and set our tubs, and now we're heading to the final town square of the Villages. This will be the third town square they built for the residents. Basically, to accommodate the residents, you can do pretty much everything you need to do by golf cart without leaving the Villages. As far as going to the movies, taking your grandkids to the movies, they have their own theater, they have their own restaurants, their own banks. As you can see, they're still doing some construction, adding new buildings. For the most part, the central part of the square is open to the residents now. And the first town square it's called Spanish Springs.
But this BrownWood is essentially supposed to emulate where the Morses grew up. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Is they designed this to, mimic their old town where they grew up. A lot of them worked, had stores there.
So anything you can think of, like your own little small hometown, like you said, from golf carts to restaurants to movie theaters to stage and production, we're going to meet up with Shawn Scott, the owner, here in a little while, and he's going to tell us a little more about some of this. And last but not least, we're here with the owner, Shawn Scott of Mike Scott Plumbing. Can you tell us where we're at and what exactly this is that we're standing at?
Yeah, this is one of our latest jobs that we're completing and still continuing to build. The town is called BrownWood here in the Villages, and we're standing in front of the theater that we just completed, which is Barnstorm. For us, with all the hard work that us and our employees put in, this is the feel-good part, when you get to actually experience and look back at what you've done. This place, the theater behind us, it means it's left a legacy for the homeowners that live here. The experience, they're not just buying a house, they're buying a lifestyle. And that's what we feel like we do for our customers as well. So we're glad to be a part of this ending era of a lifestyle for the Villages residents.
Well, that's going to do it for another edition of Not Your Average Plumber. I'm your host, Casey Doherty. Thanks for watching. And remember, when it comes to residential, construction, or industrial, the easiest thing to remember with Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it.